3, 2, 1. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us again for another devotion. Today we're going to be looking at 2 John chapter 1, verses 1 through 6. I love the book. 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. I love how his entire theme throughout those books are all about how we love. How we love each other, how we love this world. Let me read this passage to you, 1 through 6. The elder, to the lady chosen by God and her children, whom I love in the truth, and not I only, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth which lives in us and will be with us forever. I love what he's immediately he comes out so strong with loving in truth, being honest and open, having a dialogue. But the only way that happens is being in relationship with each other, knowing where our hurts and our struggles are, and then being able to be honest and accountable for those in truth and in love. And he goes on to talk a little bit, grace, mercy, and peace from God the Father and from Jesus Christ the Father Son will be with us in truth and in love. So when we're talking and sharing with each other, living that life of following Christ out every single day, it's in truth and in love. It has given me, I go on here in verse 4, it says, it has given me great joy to find some of your children walking in truth, just as the Father commanded us. And he goes on, he says, now, dear lady. And again, focus right there. When he's talking and he says, dear lady, I believe, and other parts of Scripture reference this, that he's speaking directly to the church. That he's calling the church that lady. And he wants us to understand how much Christ loved us to take us as his bride. And he goes on, like I said, he says, I am not writing you a new command, but one that you've already had this command from the very beginning. That's what Jesus said from the very beginning of his ministry. Even when he went to the cross, continued to tell us those truths in love. I ask that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk in obedience to his commands. As you have heard from the very beginning, his command is that you walk in love. You know, there's a great story of talking about truth and love. And it's about the former CEO of General Electric. Now, Jack Welch was an incredibly controversial figure in the life of GE for many, many years. And due to his practice of giving truthful, candid answers on all things. And when you came in for a performance review as a manager, as an employee, he was going to be completely direct and honest about where you could excel, where you were excelling, where you were just getting by, and then where you needed desperate work in your day-to-day life in the company of GE. And he didn't make a lot of friends because he was completely honest about each performance of each employee. And his thoughts were this. You know, he'd come to learn the worst kind of manager was this, the one who practices false kindness. Somebody who thinks they're being merciful and they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You think you're being a nice manager, you're being a kind manager, but here's the thing he said. He said, guess what? You won't be there someday. You will have been promoted or moved on or retired. And then where's that employee going to be that you were not honest with, that you didn't tell the truth in love with? And he said, now that employee is going to go home and they're going to think they're worthless. They're going to think that they don't even understand what their entire work career was about, even he talked about. So he felt like the most important thing he could do was tell the truth in love. For us, are we doing that? Are we loving those people around us? Being honest about that? And honest about where our obedience is? and helping them come along to that. Well, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. You have a great day.